Today's 2-hour stop was the first time Air Force One has been here since 2015 when President Obama showed up for a speech at Boise State University. Well, President Obama called that the fourth quarter of his presidency when he spoke to a crowd of thousands at the Kavin Williams Sports Complex at Boise State.
Here at the home of the team with the most famous Statue of Liberty play in history, I don't need to remind you that big things happen late in the fourth quarter.
Well, from the fourth quarter to the opening kickoff, the first presidential visit to Idaho was shortly after the Gem State became a state. President Benjamin Harrison, who signed the law making Idaho the 43rd state in the Union, he stopped by, even planted a tree at the State House. Presidents Teddy Roosevelt and William Howard Taft also visited Idaho while in office and also planted trees near the Harrison's tree. Then in 1964, President Lyndon Johnson visited the Idaho National Laboratory in eastern Idaho. And since then, since 1964 and President Johnson, every sitting president has visited Idaho at least once while in office, except one, President Trump, who broke that streak by never stepping foot in Idaho in his 4 years as president. President Bush, 1 and 2, both came to Idaho several times. Back in 2005, the younger spoke at the Idaho Center in Nampa. And he talked about policy, the Iraq War, and thanked several service members in attendance and their families. But he also did have a more lighthearted moment when he offered this advice for then Nampa Mayor Tom Dale.
Mr. Mayor, thanks. You didn't ask for any advice, but I'll give you some anyway. Fill the potholes.
Classic. Well, wonder what he would think of those potholes now in Canyon County. This was actually Biden's second visit to the Gem State. His other visit, as you mentioned, came in 2009. It was then he attended the Special Olympics Winter Games at Quest Arena, which is now Idaho Central Arena. He watched some of the events, and then he also presented medals to the athletes.